Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dear Retalk Show. If you guys can like this video and any of the other videos I have, and also subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And keep coming with those comments. I love how you guys comment, and you also comment on other people's comments. So I really love, I just love everything about it. Also, don't forget to share this video. Everything that I state over here is allegedly. It's always in my opinion. And let's not forget the good old fair use. Copyright Act of 1976 for entertainment purposes, teaching, and all that good jazz. Okay, this is Amanda Seales. I'm not sure if you guys know her, but she was on The View with Lonnie Love, one of the Mallory twins. And also she was in Insecure on HBO. But I want you guys to listen to a clip, and I will be like going in between. And I want to give a shout out to Neighborhood Talk where I got the clip from. And here we go.
Put in clips of Kamala Harris stating things. I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things.
And I totally agree with that statement. Those are one of the things that I first asked myself, what can we expect?
When I met with Kamala Harris, after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out two sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, keep going.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging. And she said to me, well, you're being too critical. And I said, I am a voter. I'm supposed to be critical. That's my job.
Oh, Lord. Well, yes, we are voters. And I'm going to give more of my commentary at the end. But, guys, I have to break it up. Here she goes.
And I want to see actions. She said, well, how am I supposed to talk about racism in America without calling Americans racist? I said, well, first of all, there are many racist Americans. But there's also policy, legislation, institution, and systems that are racist that need to be addressed. They need to be addressed. And if you're not going to do that in an actualized way and in a loud, bold way, people will never really know where you're coming from. Well, you can't tell me how I feel. So I'm not telling you how you feel. I'm telling you how you sound. I'm telling you how you sound. Okay? The truth is that you should always question your source and what are their intentions. And what you all need to know is that I don't need to do any of this. I don't need to talk about any of this.
Okay, like I stated in the beginning when she began to speak regarding what she wants to hear, I totally agree, and that's where I'm at. I want to know what policies she's going to bring, but this is my first problem with you, Amanda. It's a way to do anything. I love your passion. I love what you stand for on certain things, but what I don't love is your delivery. If that's the way that you spoke to the vice president of the United States, because that is in fact who she is at this moment, I feel you should have had some type of tact. It does not matter if it was, would you talk to Trump like that? My thing is that you could have really been a voice for us, because she wanted to speak with you. She didn't summon you. You're not like you're going to school and the vice principal or the principal summoned you, or you're being summoned because you did something, like jury duty, or you need to do something. That's my feeling, and that's just my opinion. I felt like, now you may say, well, I'm not honored. I felt like if she asked to speak to you, there are so many people out here, activists and different things of that nature, and I would have just been humble. Sometimes you need a little bit of humble pie. And for me, I would have welcomed, but I would have also said, help plant my feet planted to the ground. Because what I'm saying is, how can you know, how can she answer to you where she stands on certain things? Yes, but she's in a VP role. She's probably knew, I mean, nobody really knew that, President Biden was going to step down. He didn't even know, because even when Schuler, I hope I'm saying his name right, went to speak with him privately, he asked him to give him a week. And this is from President Biden's mouth himself, so it's not allegedly. So she had to jump into a race that her duties as a VP is similar to the vice president, because to the president, because she didn't know when she would have to take his position. So they're always abrupt to what's going on, but she had her own duties. So when you were asked to come and speak with her because she wanted to have a conversation with you, for me, I would have left it at a point, if and when anything happened, you could have been one of the people that she brought in, and you could have said, hey, when she began to run. Like I'm saying, I don't know when you were called in, but you never want to go in guns blazing, allegedly. You never want to go in hot. You never want to go in hot. She can't even go in hot, because there's always somebody over somebody. I had this conversation with my brother when Trump got elected. And I told my brother, I said, as long as Trump does what he's supposed to do, he'll be fine. But if he ever upsets the old money that I feel allegedly that runs Washington, you'll know it. And, and that's just some of my political views. And but I want to get back to Amanda. I feel, Amanda, you were very disrespectful. Would you speak to someone that's your elder that way? I mean, was she disrespectful to you? Now, this is coming from your mouth. So if you spoke to her like that, shame on you. Put politics to the side. Just put, first and foremost, being a woman and having respect. And you saying at the end that you don't have to say anything. Well, don't. All you have to do is vote. My whole thing is, give her a chance to be the Democratic nominee. We haven't even had our DNC because of the time restraint. I was waiting to give my views because I want to know what her platform is, what she's going to run for, what she's going to stand for. Some of her views will be because she ran on the ticket with Biden, but I'm quite sure she has her own views on how she wants to run things, because I'm quite sure she's seen some things that she would probably like to change. She was not running the show. Biden was. But she would have had, if she would have had to step in, she would have had to step in on some of the same views, but I'm quite sure she would have tweaked it. Give her a chance to be the Democratic nominee, be the Democratic president nominee. Right now, she's trying to play catch up. Okay, she has to be she didn't just be, people are supporting her and coming out saying they're backing her and everything, but she has to go through the proper procedures to get the nominee. She said it herself in her statement when she came out, and it was posted on X and Instagram and different platforms, that she welcomes the opportunity to become. So that means she wants to earn that spot. So she has to do all of that and put her agenda out, what she would like to run on. Also pick a VP to run with her. All of these things within 100 days or whatever. And there are people like myself, like, Amanda, we want to know her views and what she's going to run on. That's what I want to know. But there are going to be some things we will not know until she gets in office. I don't understand it, Amanda. We get the same rhetoric, just a different face every 4 years. It doesn't matter if it's state, local, or for the president. They give us these things that they're going to run on, and they get in and they do their best. But if they don't have the House and they don't have the Senate, if they don't have what they need to carry that out, then how are they going to basically be able to give us what they promise? To give us what they promise. When President Obama was in his first, we had what we needed. And it still was, we're gonna have to work with the other side. So you have this rhetoric for someone who was just thrust into becoming the president nominee. You can say all day that she knew. How did she know, or how did she know that she was going to be the president nominee for 2024 when Biden, up until the end, did not know? He was always adamant about running, and she supported him. So you have to give her some grace to be able to first be accepted. Yes, people are backing her, but normally the Democratic nominee is known at the DNC. And if for some people who don't know what the DNC means, it's the Democratic National Convention. So, and the Republicans, they had their RNC. So now she has to go through, she's not going to go through the full process because it's too late for that. But she has to also, they have to make sure no one else wants to run. And if somebody else wants to run, as for right now, I don't see it. I don't see anyone stepped out yet. And then she would be, I love, the nights and all the round tables and all that stuff. I like to watch that type of stuff. But she will be dubbed as the, Democratic 2024 presidential nominee. And then she also has to pick a VP, like I stated before. And I think there is a deadline of August the 7th when that has to be done. Don't quote me on it, because I've been all over the place trying to get the kiddos ready for school and different stuff of that nature. And also run a business and different stuff. So anywho, all I'm saying is you're not wrong in the beginning when you wanted to know her platform. But guess what? We all want to know. But she's not able to go through the traditional cycle of how it's normally done. So whenever she asks you at that point in time, if it wasn't recently, which I don't know where she could find the time to. So if it was when she was in her vice president capacity, how could she tell you what she was going to run on? If it was after she was chosen, how can she still tell you what she's going to run on when she's not the nominee yet? Within saying that, all I want to say at the end to you, Amanda, if you really spoke to her like that, for me, I really feel that that door was closed. That door was closed because I'm not saying you had to go in and kiss her feet or kiss her bottom or anything like that. But what I'm saying is there could have really been a form of tact, respect. If she would have came and spoke to you like that, you would have been all over talking, who does she think she is, and this, and this, and you're telling her she's talking out of her neck. Okay, that's fine. She's talking out of her neck. But you could have had some decorum. And that's fine. You talk the way you want to talk. That's on you. The only thing that I'm saying, you're not wrong for wanting to have that information because I want the same thing. But everybody has their opinion. But I just think that you sometimes when you're wanting to move in different spaces, you have to move accordingly. And she knows that. Vice President Harris knows that. I know that. Anyone that has worked in corporate, dealing with corporate, any type of official position, you have to sometimes bite your tongue to move in those spaces until you get to where you need to be, where you can speak up. And I feel if you would have bitten your tongue on certain things, you would have been someone that could have been called in to speak, and we could have funneled our questions through you. I really feel that way. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Didn't mean for it to be this long, guys, but, I kind of get lengthy when it comes to politics. And as things progress, I will have a date, a day that I will speak, and I will want to speak and hear what you guys have to say, because we all have our opinions, we all have our views, but at the end of the day, if you do not have the other side working with you, and you do not have, the House, and even when we had an all Democratic position with Obama, you still got to work with the other side. You still have to. So for me, I'm saying this. It doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, if it's independent. It does not matter. I think if we're all working for the greater good of the United States, it doesn't matter who's the president, unless it's Trump. Unless it's Trump. I'm going to say it. Unless it's former President Trump, then I'm going to say it matters. But all of the other presidents we've had, it should not matter if you're the president of the United States. Everybody has to be checked. That's the reason why our founding fathers placed the things they put the things in place, because they wanted to make sure there was a check and balance. They wanted to make sure that somebody was able to check the president of the United States, because this is not a dictatorship. Because if there were no checks and balances, the president would have the final say so, and nobody could come back and veto what he or she, hopefully she, states. So that's why I'm stating it should not matter who's in the House, president. If we're all for what's right for the people of the United States of America, it shouldn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, or independent. But it never It never works that way. Republicans have their own way of thinking, and Democrats. We should all think the same. Yes, we should, call each other on things, but it should never be at the it should I feel it should never be to the point of the detriment of the American people. It should never be at the detriment of us, because everybody's put and placed in office by votes of the American people. So when you get in there, you should not do what you want to do. If we're putting you in there because we trust you to do what you say you're going to do. So it doesn't matter if you're the president, the vice president, you're in Congress, or what's a Senate. It does not matter what position you hold. Your position should always be doing the best thing for the United States of the American citizens. And within saying that, I do. You guys have a great day. Until next time, peace and soul. I love you all.